Hey, what's up? This is Claytown here, and today we're going to be doing a review on X-Men Apocalypse. Here we go. So first and foremost, personally, this is my favorite X-Men film. I really thought it would be tough to beat X-Men Days of Future Past, but I personally think they did it. This was an awesome film. So let's get straight to the pros, and there's a lot more pros in this movie than cons. Let's start out with the Wolverine cameo. Everyone knew it was happening. Like, you can't have an X-Men movie without Hugh Jackman, and they kind of left X-Men Days of Future Past like there was something they were gonna do with Wolverine, and they did. It was a pretty awesome, brutal, savage Wolverine cameo. Like, it definitely is a tease of how violent and savage he'll be in the final solo film that we rated R. So yeah, I love the Wolverine cameo. It was awesome. So the next thing I was really a big fan of was the new versions of Jean Grey, Cyclops, Storm, and Nightcrawler. I thought they were really well done. They kind of were similar to the old versions, except Cyclops. They actually put effort into Cyclops. Bryan Singer did, and I thought it was great that he actually seemed like he's going to play an important role in the X-Men franchise going forward. And I liked Jean Grey. It was definitely a different version than the one we knew. It was more of a one that's more unsure of herself, and I thought she was done well. And the Nightcrawler, he was awesome. He's just as awesome as he was in X-Men 2, except they made him a little bit more of a comedic relief, which was also, I was okay with it. It was kind of cool. And of course, Storm was pretty awesome too. And of course, you can't talk about positive things that happen in an X-Men movie without talking about Quicksilver and his Quicksilver scene, as they call it, where everything's kind of moving really slow and he is running really fast. I thought it was great. His Quicksilver mansion rescue, where he basically rescues everybody in the mansion when it's getting blown up. I thought it was really cool. I liked the music choice. I can't remember what the song was, but I just felt like it was the perfect 80s song to fit with what's going on in the moment for Quicksilver. Like, they really do pick good music for when he's doing his, super speed and whatnot. So yeah, really love the Quicksilver scene. Definitely a highlight. And speaking of Quicksilver, I would like to add that I really also like that they actually confirmed and acknowledged that Magneto and him are actually father and son in this universe. They actually confirmed it. It was kind of just a little Easter egg, kind of like a little joke, with, if you will, in X-Men Days of Future Past, when he was like, my mom dated a guy who could do that or whatever, and it was kind of just a one-line thing, but they actually acknowledged it, and I thought that was pretty neat. Another positive I saw in the film was the Cyclops Jean Grey relationship. They definitely were already went straight into it with their kind of like a back and forth when they first meet, and I definitely feel like there will be chemistry between the two of them in future movies, and I'm glad they're kind of going straight into that. I liked it. And of course, I also was a fan of how they handled the Jean Grey and Wolverine relationship. They kind of foreshadowed that they will have connection eventually in the Wolverine cameo when she kind of takes off I guess the gear that he had on when he was imprisoned. When she takes it off and kind of tells him thank you, or not thank you, but you're welcome or whatnot. And he definitely kind of has some kind of affection towards her. You feel that connection. I'm glad that they did that in the Wolverine cameo. My next to last pro is the final battle against Apocalypse. I thought it was really cool how they did it. How they kind of had Professor Xavier and Jean Grey battling Apocalypse inside Xavier's mind while they were all attacking Apocalypse in the actual physical, world. Cyclops shooting his lasers, uh, Magneto throwing stuff at him. Earlier, when Quicksilver was doing his slow mo punching at Apocalypse, and of course, how they kind of finally take him down. Jean Grey going full out Dark Phoenix, just destroying him. I thought it was awesome. And my last positive was the very end of the movie, when you see that shot of all the new X-Men, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Quicksilver, Mystique, Storm, Nightcrawler, all of them in their costumes, like classic costumes, not the black leather stuff. They're in their classic X-Men costumes, and Professor Xavier's behind them, and he's the classic bald wheelchair look. I just thought it was great. Now let's get to the cons. Honestly, only one of these is really big, major, in my opinion. The other two are kind of nitpicks. The first was I thought Jubilee was kind of wasted. Like I heard apparently that most of her scenes were kind of cut. Like I think you actually got to see her use her powers when the Cyclops, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, and her go off and go to the movies and go have fun and whatever. So another kind of a con that I guess is kind of a little bit minor is I thought Archangel kind of uh, went out like a little bitch. Like he basically just got crushed, and I assume he was kind of dead. They didn't really clarify that, but I just didn't like how he was killed off or beaten or whatever. It was just kind of lame in my opinion, because he looked awesome. He had some cool moments before that, but I was kind of let down how he was taken out. And my really, my only real major like negative moment of this movie was the kind of the plot hole that was Colonel Stryker, because at the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, it was kind of implied, and it was showed actually, not implied. It was definitely Mystique was the one in possession of Wolverine at the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, because she was pretending to be Colonel Stryker, and yet they kind of just were like, whatever, that didn't really happen, I guess, in X-Men Apocalypse, because Colonel Stryker was able to do the Weapon X program with Wolverine and everything, and I guess Mystique just was like, whatever, Wolverine, you go on your way or whatever. They didn't really explain that well, and that's the one major reason why this movie is kind of like, I was like, oh, man, you guys just kind of skipped over that, and it's definitely a plot hole. But really, it's my only real complaint. The other two were just kind of minor, like whatever. But yeah. So overall, I really liked the movie. I thought it was probably my favorite X-Men movie for sure. Um, there was just that major one plot hole is really that really hurts the movie for me, and then just the two little minor things with Jubilee and Archangel. So I'd give the movie probably a 8.5 out of 10, just because that plot hole really does kind of bother me, and then little minor things with Jubilee and Archangel. But overall, great movie, definitely the best X movie. Definitely recommend you go see it.